and welcome to Throwback Thursday. This is a little weekly series that I do here on my channel where I encourage us to dig into our stash of older papers and use them to make something fresh and beautiful. This week we're working with Prima's My Sweet, which came out in 2021, I believe. So it's not that much of a throwback, but still a little bit of a throwback. I'm working with the 8x8 pad. I just love this collection. It's perfectly vintage and shabby chic, and it's buttons. And if you know anything about me, you know that I have a thing for vintage buttons. So today we're going to make a sweet little slimline tea party in a box card. To get started, I'm going to show you how to score out your base. This is a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, and you're going to score this at 4. I've lost my regular stylus. It's in here somewhere. And 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. And then you're going to score it at 8.5. And the reason we do this is that with a box pocket card, it stands up better if the back side of the box is 1/4 of an inch shorter than the front side of the box. Then score another 3/4 of an inch. And this is going to fold like this. Here's the front of your card. Here's a 3/4 inch spine, which we need to accommodate the box. And then here's the back of the card. Here's another 3/4 inch. And this becomes the box pocket. So you're going to take the measurement, and I've done this many times in other tutorials. I'll just show you very quickly. So the depth of our pocket is about 1 3/4 inches. So just take a scrap of paper. Cut it at 1 3/4, just slightly below 1 3/4 inches. Then bring it into your scoring tool, and you're going to score 3/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 3/4 of an inch. 2, 3, 3/4 of an inch. And then again, flip it this way and go, because you have 2 sides to your box. 3/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 3/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3. And then cut these 2 out, 1 from each end. And fold them like this. And these become the sides of your box pocket. And I'll show you what that looks like. So put your adhesive on the side. Then take your pocket, and you want to put this outside one right up against the edge and against the fold. And you're going to do this on each side. And I like to check it to make sure I'm not overlapping the top of my pocket, and I'm not, so I'm good. Then fold it like this. Place your adhesive here and your adhesive here. Then you're just going to fold this so that everything is neat and square and lined up, just like that. And you want to make sure it's square, so I'm a little off there. There we go. See how it's nice and square? You've got a little gap at the bottom, but we're going to cover that with paper when we make our card, so not a big deal. All right. You just want to make sure it's straight, because otherwise your card won't stand straight. Okay. See? And now you've got this lovely box pocket that you can put all kinds of treats into. And then because I'm working with an 8x8 pad instead of a 12x12, obviously this is 8.5. So I lined it with 8 1/4 by 3 3/4 inch cardstock. And then I came in with my 8 by 3.5 designer paper. So the rest of it is just covering it and all of that. Let me show you the inside of my card. So on the inside, I had some fun. The first thing I did was I created a lateral waterfall. And I'll be doing one of these in my next card kits for Button Farm Club. So if you want to learn how to do that, you can sign up for my quarterly card kit at the Button Farm Club. These are really cool. And then I also did, over this, a little accordion pullout, which I will also be doing in my next card kit for Button Farm Club, which comes out in March. So I'll be sharing the techniques for doing all of that then. And I think you'll enjoy learning how to make these. And then on the bottom is, oops, let me tie this bow. So this is almost like a mini album, a mini album with a gift pocket. So down in here, I've created I've got a little demi-tasse spoon, and then this is a little tea wallet that I've tied with a bit of lace. See how pretty? And just using my scraps to do all of that. A cookie. This is a little weave vellum envelope that I filled with shakers just for pretty. And there's buttons in there too, so if the recipient wanted to open it up and get the buttons, they could. Here's a little chocolate treat box. And then here's just a little, this has about a yard of seam binding ribbon and some little vintage pins and a honey stick. So that is what is in the pocket. Let me move this out of the way and we'll get on with this. I'm just going to show you how I finished the cover on this. And I'll put all of this back together again later. All right. So this is what I often do. I lay all my pieces out and then I walk away and I come back the next day to see if I'm still happy. And I am. So I did the same thing here, and I'm using some of the Prima chipboard. I just want to show you how I did the matting. This is 8.5 by 4, and then this comes down smaller and this comes down smaller. Everybody likes to mat their layers a little differently. I tend to like thin mats. If you like wider mats, do it your way. Then I backed this panel, which is, the white is 7.5 by 3. And I backed this with, well, first I layered on this pink and then the patterned paper. The patterned paper is 7 1/8 by 2 3/4. And I stitched the patterned paper onto the pink. Then I took this vintage doily that I had in my stash and I wrapped it around the panels and secured it with score tape. Then I put a layer of foam behind there to elevate it. It just creates a little bump of dimension. So now what we're going to do, we're going to come in, and this is one of the chipboard elements from the collection. And we're just going to put this down right in the center. Like this. And this is another chipboard element. Oh, and then on top of it, this is one of the wood stickers. I just picked this up on clearance, actually, which was fun. And let's put this sideways in the center. And so we're just building layers. That's all we're doing, is just building layers. Lots of dimension, lots of layers makes for a really interesting card. I mean, you can see that the basics of this card are quite simple, but it's adding these extras. This is a little vintage sewing machine button that I had in my stash. I think you can get things like this at Hobby Lobby. So here's another chipboard sticker. And we're going to put this, make sure I have enough hot glue on this to hold it, at an angle over here on the left. Press that down. And this is a little itty bitty wooden spool and a little pin, which I don't want the pin to come all the way through because that would be dangerous. But I'm just going to take my hot glue and put it on the back side of this, and I want it over here. There we go. And then our little lace kind of hangs there, which is so sweet. Then this little pair of vintage scissors is from Reneabouquets, the trinkets section. And don't try to glue this down with hot glue because it won't work. Whoops. Swipe that up very quickly. And I want this to kind of overlap like this. I don't want it to cover up that thimble, which is so cute. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I thought maybe it would meet the doily, but it's not going to. So what we're going to do is take a little piece of foam tape, and we're just going to put it on the back like that, right on the blade of the scissors. And let me go ahead and put my adhesive back down on this part of these scissors. Okay. Perfect, just like that. Then I have these itty bitty, these are little birdie crafts, and they're the sweetest things. And I want to pop these inside my spool. Like this. How cute is that, y'all? That's adorable. Okay. And then this is also from Reneabouquets. I think she's called Button Girl. I'm not sure exactly. And I just added some vintage buttons. There's painted buttons here. But I want her to stand out as our focal. So I'm going to take this large little birdie flower. And put it right here. And then I'm going to come in and add a little extra glue to the foam tape on the back. Look how sweet that is. Oh my goodness. That's precious. I love that. It's like a little paper doll. So sweet. Then I tied a couple of bows. This is, I want to say this is, it's seam binding ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon. And I think it's called Bordeaux Wine is the color. And I tied a couple of little bows for the corners like this. And then I have some roses from Really Reasonable Ribbon. And these are called Queenie. And I like to add these in, they're sort of like greenery. They just add a nice, and I'm cutting them off the stem. So I want to put my burgundy flower, my rose. These are called, I think these are called Shades of Pink. If you look in the mulberry flowers section at Really Reasonable Ribbon, I'm pretty sure these are called Shades of Pink. And I'm going to squish this a little bit because I want it to be smaller. I'm going to tuck it in behind like this. Keep adjusting my ribbon. And then I'm going to take this shade of pink and do the same thing. They open back up. This just helps you get them placed where you want them to be in the process. There we go. Then I'm going to take a couple of these little queenies and stick them in. Like that. And then I'm just going to repeat the process down here on the bottom. And that is that. I had thought maybe I would add some vintage pearls, but I think we got enough going on here that we don't need to do that. Look how sweet that is. So now once this dries, I'll glue it on the top of my box and we'll be all finished. So there you go. There's our Throwback Thursday for this week. This one's kind of short and sweet, but I had a very limited opening in my schedule to get this done. So I kind of condensed everything to bring it down. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you dig into your stash of older papers and make something beautiful today. It'll make you so happy if you do. All right, Kathy Clement for Kathy by Design. Go get your craft on. Bye.